Ain't life grand?
Oh, thank you. How you doing?
How you doing?
Good.
That's good. Come over here.
Boring place, I tell you, man. Boring here. Boring here.
It is?
Yeah.
Where you live around here?
I live in Woodstock. I used to live here.
Oh.
I used to live up the road here.
And you heard about
I
he
remember.
died, no? He
Yes,
died.
yes. I was very sad that he died.
Yeah, you know nobody lives forever.
No. So he was the cantor in the synagogue I used to go to.
You mean it?
That's
Why,
right.
you want to tell me you're Jewish?
I'm Jewish, yes.
National Memorial.
Good.
I like that.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm so sorry to hear that the rabbi died.
He was 3.5 months sick.
But he's buried in Israel.
Yeah, I
That's
took
what
him
he
to
wanted. He
Israel.
used to say, I'm going to roll to Israel.
I told him, listen, it cost over $25,000 his sickness for sure.
What?
His sickness cost me about $25,000. It's terrible. You know how much they charged in the hospital? $100 a day.
It's cheap.
Cheap. This was cheap. When he was taken care, I paid $200 a day. When I find out he's so sick, I didn't know what to do.
I see. I used to live right. This seat is a good place for me to go because it takes me back to like 3 years ago in my life. I lived here for 3 years, a very growthful period. At the time, I had really long hair and a beard, and I walked over there to him one day, and he goes, "Look at you, you're Jewish Indian." He goes, "You bum," and I'd say, "Joe, you have no right to say a word. Look at you." And sure enough, he's wearing this long gray coat and weather something like this. But to catch it all, he had on a belt, and the belt was an extension cord. And when he wanted it tighter, he used to unplug it and plug it into another one. And I say, "Joe, you have a lot of nerve. You're wearing an extension cord for a belt around a coat in July, and you're telling me I look like a wreck."
Listen, he had a wonderful voice. Now, when he wouldn't have such a temper, he would be rich.
Why?
Because he would, you know, for a cantor, you have to take from everybody. You know that.
He did have a good temper.
Oh. He used to holler at you. Whew.
He hollered at everybody, but that was okay because he could holler back. He'd like when you yelled back at him. He liked to yell. My grandfather was like that. They used to yell at each other.
Yeah?
They used to call each other jackass. What else did they call each other? Putz.
Plots, maybe you
No,
mean.
putz.
Oh! I'm telling you, that was really fun. I thought. No, this is Friedman, and this is. And this is my cousin Golda. It's vacation now.
He liked very much animals.
He loved cats.
He cat and dog. And he gave them to eat before he even started to eat himself.
He's really nice to us. He's really nice. I loved him a lot. He gave me stuff.
What, for instance?
He gave me a bond, like I said before. And a lot of people in Lanesville used to make fun of him the way he walked.
Why? How did he walk?
He used to walk like this.
Don't interview me? Up, bro.
Why do you think he walked that way?
because he's getting older and older and every day.
You pitch him right. That's strike 2.
And the first time I met Joe officially, we were watching television. I look out the window and I see this face watching television with us from the outside. So I went out to see what was wrong. And Joe said, I haven't got my television yet, so I was this is my favorite program. So he's standing out in the driveway watching it through the windows, because we never locked doors or anything. So I asked him, he said, I'm your new neighbor across the street. And that was my first introduction to Joe. After that, we got along, So then I guess all he wanted was to be buried in Israel, that's all. That was, nobody could believe it, how much it would cost.
His funeral cost over $10,000.
What did?
The funeral over
Why so much?
$10,000. To send over there, they charge $8,000.
Yeah.
And he would live, he would die again, I told him.
Yeah, he also used to come up to here. He used to come up to the front of the trailer, and he used to go, "Some!" He used to yell, 9 o'clock in the morning, "Where is my money?" He would scream. And he'd go, "Cut all this." He wanted me to cut the outside here like it is like this. And I'd say no. I'd yell back at him because I liked it wild. I liked to see the plants grow.
You want to tell you a few stories about that barn?
Yeah. Yeah, on.
Come on, man. Well, this barn used to be a red barn. You can tell just by looking at it, it's pretty old.
Older than you.
Way older than me. Had some good times in that barn.
Tell me.
Yeah, good times.
Tell me.
Sex good times.
Really?
Really, guys strung me down if I'm lying.
You're only 14 years old.
Start young.
How young?
Huh?
How young?
Oh, about 2-3 months ago.
Oh, that's pretty young. You were still 13 at the time. All right, so let's hear it.
That's all I tell. Good enough?
Yeah, why'd you choose this barn?
Because that was the only barn that was around.
In order to earn a living, he was a cantor. He was a cantor and he had a chorus. He had quite a nice voice.
You know, he was a very tight of money.
He was very educated.
Oh, he was very educated.
He had a great education, but he
Jewish
was a little
education.
too tight on money, that's all.
Bertha liked him and it was good.
And she liked him.
All right. When he
She
passed,
wasn't as stingy as he. She knew where You have to be stingy, we are not. But he helped his family on his side.
For his family, he spent
He
all the
was
money.
used to
he
send
went
him a lot of
and
money.
everything. Maybe
He was a happy man?
I think so. I don't know. I can't tell you. This is a question about it.
Who could know such a thing?
I don't know. People talk about it a lot.
Usually people talk how happy they are or not, but he never did.
Boy, how he smiled when they brought him out of that cell and he saw me standing there. Poor Joe. Oh, that was really awful.
So what happened to him? Did he get fined?
Jeez, I forgot how it went. It's Pa. He can take better than I can.
You have a good sense of humor, Willie.
Well, go sit on the porch, huh?
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. I think I was the only one in the valley here that really got along, you know, as a neighbor to him. And he got himself in a lot of difficulties by doing things that he done. Now that's the reason he didn't get along with the Beckers over here. Because he was a type of person that he thought, well, hell, this is free country. Go do as you want to, go as you want to. And I used to bawl him out a lot of times for the way he would dress and come out in the street, you know. I mean, I'd bawl him right out about it. I'd tell him, I'd say, you got no respect for these people around here to go around the way you do. But, you know, that's the type of person he was. Like I say, I always tried to be a neighbor. He'd come over here and I don't think he ever bought a haircut since he's lived here. I always cut his hair. In fact, I cut his hair a week before he died.
Where were you, at the hospital?
When he was in the house here. I said to David, I said, I'm going over and give Joe a haircut, because I said, I don't think he's going to last for another one. And I don't think he even remembered me being there and cutting his hair. Because you know yourself, I mean, if you don't eat the right kind of food, if you don't have the right kind of food, I mean, what the hell? I mean, you can't live on junk all the while. I mean, oh, he'd eat the darndest stuff you ever seen. I mean, he'd eat stuff that maybe you and I wouldn't even, we'd want to carry it out to the dog. If we had hot dogs cooking here in the house, he'd come in here and he'd take a glass and he'd take a glass of that hot broth off the hot dogs and drink it. That's why I say he was a very unusual person.
Tell you something. I used to tell him, why you are so stingy? Let me go. He said, you don't know what's going to be. Maybe everything will go to the doctors. Maybe we'll be. Listen, he just like he thought he'll be sick. He said, you don't know where the money will go. And that's true, the money will. From here, we took him to the hospital the last time.
And like I said, this place is jazz. That's why to us, everything I saw daily here, to me, comes off musically. But like he said, it's the same thing. Kelley was that way. You know? Whether it represents music or not, he was like jazz.
I just thought of a good one. Like for a year, at least a year, Joe always used to tell me that in the cough drops, I forget what brand.
Vicks, the mentholated.
Right, Vicks mentholated.
Oh, man.
On the box, it used to say you get 8. But for some
It said it, 8
mechanical
lozenges.
quirk, you know, for a year, they gave you 9 in there. And Joe...
Every night.
And Joe used to have them.
Yeah, we did
and
it
he used to
stereo,
have them. He used to have them lined up in like a formation, and he would go, "Oh, look at this! They gave me 9 again." You know?
The other line was he was going to put every box, he was going to take the extra and put it aside and have a free box. And a free box! They wouldn't give
He was the most, like, in a place like this, he was the most unusual person you could possibly want to meet.
So check it out, I was saying, I used to go in sometimes, you know, I'd walk over and say I'd have to use their phone, and I would sort of know what was going to go down when I walked in. So I'd open the door and go slamming in and go, hello, 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 and I'd start improvising an aria, and Kelley would go, hey, more, do you know the one? And he'd sing another one for me. See, he got it out by doing that. Like, it's, you know, it is, musicians, you know, it's something you do get out when you're in your music, you know what I mean, when you play or whatever you do. So for a singer, it is the only natural instrument. Right. You know what I mean? It's from your body. So you could see where it's part of him as a makeup, as a character. Like, you know, if he didn't sing, he probably would have done it, you know, I mean, he did it anyway, probably. He's the kind of person when you stub your toe, you scream, as opposed to you go, whoa, you know what I mean? Yeah. He lets it out. Right. And he let it out to a degree as he got older, it got insane. Oh, man. We lived here for a year and a half with no TV, right? So, like, it was part of the cost, but then after a while, we got a TV, and, like, we'd see the Channel 6 news. And the guy in the news would say, yes, our gas price has gone up 6.5 cents in the last 4 months. Yes, that means it's costing you 15 cents a half an hour to heat your house every night if you have your thermostat on. He'd come over and he'd go, your windows, Bobby, right? Your windows, they're all wet. And I'd say, what are you talking about, Joe? He goes, you have heat on in there. I go, Joe, it's winter, it's 35 out. And he had the coat with the seatbelt.
Well, that's a whole nother thing.
Seatbelts around his jacket.
And the Mickey Mouse hat.
The Mickey Mouse hats and hoods, and he's standing there. I mean, like, he looked like, you know, Alien. It could be a movie. It was a good 30s horror movie, like when the thing came to the door. On every level, it was that way.
His other side, though, obviously was that, like, I lived there, and sometimes they gave me $20 a month for rent. Of course, that's got to be said. You know, that's his, you know, true eccentric side. I mean, he would scream for a $1 phone bill, but then again, I would give him $50 sometimes, something like that, for the whole month's rent, and he would let me live there. You know, and I lived there for years.
Yeah, that's why we're still here.
So what are your plans, Bertha?
Nothing. I have to sell the house and to divide the Irish, the view, and I'll live here. When I'll have money, I'll build over the barn. Then will remain some money.
You'll sell the house, keep the barn, build an apartment in the barn?
I have to sell it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Well, goodbye. Have a good time.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Goodbye, my Piccadilly. Farewell unto you. It's a long, long way to Tipperary, but my heart's right there. The party is over, and I hope to be 90. I'll be together with you.
Let me take a picture.
picture?
Yeah.